In this video, I'm sharing with you some coastal DIYs using Dollar Tree items. This is part of an open challenge hosted by these ladies here, and I'll tell you more about that in a few minutes. For this DIY, I'm using some of the laser cut wood pieces, some light blue ribbon, and one of the small wreath forms that come 2 in a pack. All those are Dollar Tree items. I started by wrapping the wreath form with the ribbon. I didn't bother with hot glue. This is wired ribbon and it holds its own pretty well, but I did have to hold it down until I got a good start on it. And I'm just going to wrap that entire wreath with the ribbon. You see I'm pulling it tight there. And it was easier for me to pull the ribbon off the spool to wrap it around rather than wrapping the spool around and around. So yeah, I'm going to do that all the way around, and I do have a little bit of excess left over, and I'm going to cut that off and do something with it later, but it turns out messy. Anyway, I put a dab of hot glue on the back of that wreath, stuck that down into place, and that's the only glue I have on there is that one dot. Now I'm going to be having much more glue because I'm using the little dolphin wood cutouts here. There's 3 different packs. The dolphins are different in each pack, and I have 2 of each in those, so a total of 6 dolphins are going on here. And I just spread them out like they looked good to me, how I liked them. And I put some glue on their nose and tail to stick them down. Now with that little extra piece of ribbon, I bunched it up and cut the tails on that, and those tails are frayed so bad. I don't know what to do about making it not fray out because I'm using some really sharp scissors. I don't know what's going on. If you know how to tell me to not have the fraying edges, please let me know. So I'm taking some of these star beads, also from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to put one in the center of that wreath, and then I'm going to sprinkle some other ones around in between the dolphins. No rhyme or reason, just what looked nice to me. And these stars are 3 different colors. They're like silver, gold, and copper, or maybe brass color, but they're super cute. I tried cutting away some of the stringy pieces from my glue gun, but boy, they grabbed onto that satin ribbon like nobody's business. So I'm going to make it intentional. I'm going to say it looks like water droplets on my wreath. You know, you just got to roll with it sometimes. And there's how it all turned out. In this DIY, I'm using one of these little unfinished wood trunks from Dollar Tree. I'm going to make it look more like a treasure trunk. I'm taking some of the metallic puffy stickers, and I'm going to use this largest book on the top. I want to make it look like it's maybe got some leather and metal trim on there. I'm just going through, seeing what I think I might like. I'm taking one of the handles from this pack here, and I'm going to put it under the little latch to make it look kind of like a drawer is going to pull out right there. Then I use some of those corner pieces, and I put them on the front. I'm not going to bother with decorating the sides or back because it really won't be seen. I mean, I could go crazy with these stickers and really do it up, but I'm just decorating the top and the front. Once I had them on the way I liked it, I took some folk art antique wax and a brush, and I'm just dabbing on small amounts. I'm not going to do the method where you smear it on and wipe it off. I'm just going to brush it lightly around everything, on everything. I'm covering the wood, the original, what are those things called? Fixtures? I don't know what that's called. And the stickers, in hopes that that would make them all look cohesive. And it does. It really looks cute. I just dabbed that paint, or the antique wax, I should say. Dabbed it on there, spread it out, and I left it overnight to dry. And this is how it looks. That original gold latch is a little bit brighter than the others, but I think for the most part, those stickers just blended in well with that wood. The challenge today is we are supposed to use Dollar Tree DIYs made with their stickers, stencils, rub-on transfers, or laser cuts. This is being hosted by Emily of Farm Charm Chic, Missy of Crafty Cove DIY, Amanda from 6 Kids and a Glue Gun, and Shannon from Shannon's Crafty DIYs. All their channel links are in the descriptions, along with a link for this playlist. For this DIY, I've put antique wax on 3 of these little crates. I haven't seen these lately at Dollar Tree. I really like the ones where the little slats are separated, like a real crate would be. Anyway, I antique waxed 3 of those. I glued some wood beads on the bottom corners of 2, and I'm going to put them together like so. I'm going to take some Dollar Tree stickers and write out the word beach, and I'm going to call this a reverse stencil because I'm not stenciling the letter on. I'm kind of tapping on top of the letter with the pouncer that you would use on a stencil. You'll see what I mean. I was trying to get the letters the way I liked them here. And it would be perfectly fine. If you like these colors, you'd be perfectly fine to leave them as is. But I'm going to cover them with Mod Podge to begin with. And I'm concentrating on the letters themselves to start with, making sure there's a good coat of that Mod Podge over those. And then I'm going to come back and go in every direction all over the fronts of these crates. That's to make it sure it is sealed in very well. Now that they're dry, I'm using the folk art paint in the color patina with that little pouncer whatever from Dollar Tree. I just put a little bit of a paint layer on there and smooth it out with my fingers, and then I'm going to start pouncing. And I want to go out around those letters, not a whole lot, but you know, just enough where that letter is going to show up when I peel the stickers off. I accidentally got some of that paint on the wood beads on the front, and I thought, yeah, why not? I'll just dab them too. And I also concentrated on the corners with that patina color paint. Once they were dry, got my scissors and lifted up those stickers. And I will say, some of these were a little more difficult to remove than others. I have no reason why, no idea why it did that, but you know, you have to pick them off a little bit, use your fingernail and scrape off that piece of sticker that was left behind. But really, it doesn't take any time at all. Now I'm going to use a couple of greenery pieces. I've got these plasticky kind of ferns. I'm going to use one bunch of those. I'm cutting them off the stem here. And I just pop them in between the slats. I'm going to use this. I don't remember what that's called, but I really love these. They've They come in different colors. It's greenery, greenery, with little pops of yellow on there. They're showing through between the top two crates. So I decided to just make it look intentional. Like I said, it's a happy little accident. I stuffed those greenery pieces further down into those slats. If they're going to show, might as well let a bunch of them show. And that was that. Now this is take 2 on this project. As you can see how dusty that vase is. I'm using the vase, a block of styrofoam, some of those white rocks, some seashell stickers, and onion grass. Oh, and skewers too, and hot glue. I took a piece of that styrofoam on the end of a skewer, stuck it down to the bottom of the vase, and then I'm going to fill it just enough to cover the styrofoam. Now I'm going to put some of these stickers on skewers. What I'm going to do is just stick it on the end, put a dab of hot glue over that skewer, and I'm doing that with 3 of the largest shells. I cut them to size by measuring it against the vase, trying to see how far I wanted that to stick up. And then cut those pieces down. And I'm going to stick them into the styrofoam. Once I had all 3 of those in, I started layering in the other stickers on this pack. And I used a skewer to kind of move them around to where I wanted them to be. Some of them were okay to be laying flat on top of the rocks. Other ones I wanted standing up. And I'm just layering the shells in. I'm not worried about the back or sides. I'm just putting them where they'll be seen on the front of the vase. Now to add that onion grass, I cut the stem off pretty short, and then I stuck it down into that styrofoam right behind that large seashell that I started with. And there's how that turned out. I thought about putting some nautical rope on it, but I took a step back and thought, no, I like it just the way it is. And there are all 4 of my projects that I did today. I hope you liked my video. If you did, let me know by leaving a thumbs up. If you had a favorite, let me know which one it was. And remember to go over and check out that playlist. I've left a link for you in the descriptions. And thank you for watching.